everybody. I'm Kelly Ellers.
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
And this is Volume Up by the Tees. So, camera on. We're camera on. And I noticed you got a little something going on. New hairdo.
Sure do.
Let's tell everyone about it.
Yep. So my hair is blue. If you are not watching us on TikTok and or YouTube, it's blue. We had some bleach, some lightener around and some hair color, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I will say I did not intend to be blue. And this is the dangers of doing your hair yourself and not going to a colorist. But I have successfully done my hair before consulted with incredibly talented colorists that I call friends that have helped me get through. But I guess I didn't lift quite enough for this sort of chromy metallic color that I was going for that did not absorb even a little bit. And I was on a time crunch. I needed to go to an airport. I'm not going to get into a lot of it, but it was a little bit of a panic when I rinsed out the chrome and just saw
it was chromeless.
It was chromeless. Very, that like just not fun. Like it wasn't good. So I had to think fast. And so I was like, what is going to cover? What is going to cover this color? And I knew the blue would do the trick. So I just I grabbed it, didn't need to mix. No developer, we're not going to reveal brand names. It was a thing where, and I had already used all of my gloves, thrown them away because I was certain that I would. So I just, blue hair color in my hands and just poured it,
I wish
let it develop as long as I could. I could not wait the whole 20 minutes. That's how pressed we were for time. That is the minimum recommendation for developing. We had like a good 7.5 before I had a full-blown episode of like, I've got to get down into it. And then I was just like rinsing it out in a bathroom sink. And then also cleaning up sink. It was a lot.
Yeah, and this is a lot. This is a rush do.
A rush do that is all kind of a don't. But it's like it's good now. I'm liking originally it was bluer. Now for summer, let's do it. Let's get weird with it. If you want to go blue, do that.
It meant I like the blue. I like the Compton Cowboys shirt. Shout out to the Compton Cowboys. It's a whole look.
It's a Luke for a Thursday. It's been a long week, I think, for a lot of people, wherever you are in the week. And by the time you're listening to this on a Monday, it'll maybe be a week already for you.
Yes.
I don't want that for you, but yeah. So thank you. I appreciate that.
That's great.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll probably do a different color soon because this is gonna rinse its way right on out of my hair. And we'll be back to the original problem. So, but there are other things happening in the world, Kelly. Big things, which were a pleasant, happy surprise. And I would like to just say it. J-Lo and Ben Affleck up and got married in Vegas. What are your thoughts on this?
She looked so gorgeous, right?
Radiant.
Stunning. And so, clearly there was hair and makeup there. She had 2 different dresses. So how quick was it? I can imagine she has many white dresses she can just pull from the closet. But I like.
Are you trying to say it was a surprise to us, but it wasn't a surprise to anybody in their inner circle? I see what you did there. Well, we did cover it on thetees.com. If you're curious about how she got the look, her hairstyle specifically, obviously Chris Appleton. We've talked. He's everywhere. Does it surprise us that he was there in Vegas? No, of course not. She did look incredible, and we're happy.
She did.
Her.
We
and
are.
Them, right?
Them. It's the meme that it's like it's you who I said I would marry if we were both single 20 years later, and they were. So it's just I want to believe in them because they gave it a shot, didn't work out, lived their lives, and they're coming back around to it. So I'm here to see it work out for them.
Yes. Eyes peeled on the situation. We are watching and hoping for the very best. Ben, don't mess this up. Don't do her dirty.
Seriously, Ben. Ben has the capability to mess it up, but we're not here nor there.
No. But what is here was there last week's episode. Why don't you tell us about it?
On our last episode, we talked with Douglas Smith. Douglas is a grooming expert, and his business, Phoenix Shaving, is trailblazing on the forefront of the traditional wet shaving revival that we're seeing crop up around the world. Douglas is also the co-host of the popular morning show, I'd Lather Be Shaving, which love the pun on words, love the play on words, and organizer of the Big Shave Southwest, a yearly shave festival held each year in sunny Mesa, Arizona. Aside from creating the most epic shaving gear, Douglas has also developed a Phoenix shaving universe over the last decade, consisting of an ongoing saga found on most sales pages. Due to the cult following of the long-running story, Douglas finally published the most recent 3 in 2021, available in paperback and ebook. He also runs a YouTube show and has a wonderful documentary. If you like learning more about the industry, those who are enacting change and creating a better world, make sure that you subscribe, rate and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
On this week's episode, we talk with Ian Murphy. Ian is president of BosleyMD, is also a seasoned global beauty business executive with over 30 years of expertise. In roles ranging from marketing to sales to international business development, Murphy is a trailblazer within the category and has represented beauty conglomerates such as Redken, Wella, Garnier, and Bio Ionic. Currently at BosleyMD, the thinning hair authority, he leads the company and is responsible for global strategy, brand vision, innovation, and go-to-market strategy, and execution on the brand, guiding a robust team of marketing, sales, and product development and supply chain individuals who strive to bring quality and solution-based products to market. Through instilling values of constant innovation, work with integrity and honesty, and a passion to inspire consumers' confidence, Murphy is leading the way for further success at BosleyMD. We talked with Ian this week about his journey, how BosleyMD got to where it is, and where the company is headed. But before we get there, we're going to talk about a different kind of hair.
Yeah.
And that is armpit hair. It's trending.
Yeah.
You might have seen the cover of the most recent cover of Vogue with the one Emma Corrin, star of The Crown. There's a little bit of hair under there, which is a big deal for Vogue because Vogue has for the longest time sort of been the arbiter of like what's in style. And if they're saying that it's cool to have body hair, like all of the young kids these days are embracing or cool with, then by God, it is. So, I mean, it was a shock, not because women and other folks grow hair, but it was a shock to see it on Vogue. It's just but it's here. It's here. We're gonna see it more and more. And yeah, it got Vogue's stamp of approval. I don't see that it has your stamp of approval. Somebody's
Is it that obvious?
maybe not as comfy about the topic. What are your thoughts?
I'm really not. This was also reported in the Wall Street Journal, which was a take
Mhm.
off of certainly the shocking news that it had the stamp of approval with Vogue.
Mhm.
But I, for one, no, just an absolute no.
Just
It's
no.
never going to happen.
Never.
Call me old school, call me not in Vogue, but that's where I stand on it. What about you?
I mean, I'm one of these, like, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't do
Yeah.
any. So I'm just
Fair.
like, sure, you want to, great. But I appreciate, like, it is for everyone to decide for themselves. That's kind of where I come down on it. So like, if you want to, great. If you don't want to, great.
Yeah.
But again, I will like, it's not jarring to see it on Vogue. I will just say that. Like,
Yeah.
I think
I'm with you.
Instagram and TikTok has certainly desensitized or like gotten beauty to be more inclusive in terms of body hair and body hair
Sure.
positivity. So like, it's much more commonplace to see people with visible body hair no matter what. But yeah, it was like, oh wow, like, huh, Vogue finally got hip to it, I guess.
They did.
So there's that. Let us know how you guys feel. Are you growing out pit hair if you hadn't previously, or would you never? We'll take all opinions on the matter, frankly. Get in touch with us.
We're here to be candid, right? Candid conversations about beauty, and that is one. So we'll take it.
Yes, it sure is. Speaking of beauty, Kelly, let's talk about something else. Someone...
So Kim K, she's got her beauty, SKKN, otherwise known as Skin Beauty. It came out this week that she actually albeit having a 9-step beauty regime that she's trying to sell us as consumers. And you know how I feel about a celebrity line. No, thanks. No.
Pass.
She admitted that she has the worst advice that she can give to people is that she sleeps in full makeup and she can sleep on her back and never ruin her makeup, which is completely counterintuitive to said 9-step beauty regime that was previously noted mirrors her elaborate daily routine. So busted, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
There's some authenticity issues happening here.
Yeah.
I do, frankly, I can envision that Kim would go to bed with makeup on when it's like such a production to get it, like the amounts of makeup that she and her sisters have popularized. Like it makes sense that you wouldn't want to like scrub that off if you're in it for like a 5-hour. And I'm not exactly, I mean, we know that it's like extensive contouring and it's not like they're going with like a little teeny tiny bit of mascara. So yeah, I'm sure like you want to extend the life, and it's not like you can bring in Beauty by Mario every single. Well, maybe, I mean, but he can't, right? Like he's got his own beauty brand, like he's doing stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was shocking that she admitted it. Also because she's been hawking the skincare line, which requires that you do things sequentially. She's a host of contradictions. We contain multitudes, right? Like that's what they say. Like, I don't know. They're exhausting. It's hard keeping up with the Kardashians.
Indeed. Whether it's keeping up on Hulu or Netflix, all of it is hard.
Or Instagram. I mean,
yes,
between
it's difficult.
Kylie being a climate criminal?
Oh, she's taking her jet for 40-minute rides.
To be clear, for people who've been in LA, like the idea that she took the PJ from Camarillo to Van Nuys, like she deserves to be raked over the coals for that.
Indeed, she does. That's just savage on all fronts. Like, so you know what? Keeping up is going to catch up with them. And is in some way, shape, or form.
Sure. We'll take it. Well, yeah. I like where you're going with that. Things that are also happening in the world, maybe more important than the Kardashians, although I feel like people think that maybe there's not anything more important than that. I would say thetease.com. Our editorial team has been hard at work this week, uncovering industry news, looking into trends, and diving into brands that you don't know, but probably should. And here are some of our favorite headlines from thetease.com this week, one of which I myself wrote. That's right. The title is She's Back. Trader Joe's restocks its watermelon facial mist, which we've talked about on this very podcast, which is why I authored the piece. It is important that all of you listeners know about this. Get into it. Let me just read a little bit of an intro, and then we'll talk about it, Kelly. Do you make a point of stopping in the beauty aisle at Trader Joe's every time you shop, or are you normal? Well, if you're like me, you likely spotted their cult watermelon facial mist has made its seasonal return. Formulated with watermelon seed oil and watermelon fruit extract, this mist makes the most of an ingredient that's been widely used in Korean beauty products for years. Read thetease.com for more. Kelly, I of course bought it, which is why I wrote the piece. I always buy it when I see it. I stock up, I get a couple, if not more than that, because everybody likes it in my family because I use it so much. Have I convinced you in my piece to consider buying the Trader Joe's watermelon facial mist, or is it still just an absolute no for you? It's just like not gonna happen.
I feel like in my bones opposed to smelling like a watermelon. But another guest at the pod that you also convinced was Shane Wolf. He is, as we know, the worldwide president of L'Oreal's professional product division. And when I interviewed him a couple weeks ago, he was saying, I got to get a load of this Jeffrey guy because now I'm in Trader Joe's and I'm looking at beauty products all because of said watermelon facial mist.
It's the real deal, guys.
You officially are an influencer, if not
great.
before.
Great.
And I believe as well, I may pick up just one.
I just send it to you. It's worth it. I think honestly, like it does smell a little bit like we'll be transparent here. It smells a lot like a Bath and Body Works product from the late 90s, early aughts. So like if you can get over that hurdle, it is like nice and refreshing. Like it feels good for summer. And it's, there's also a night mask that I've not gotten into, because that seems like maybe we shouldn't be buying our masks from Trader Joe's. But a facial toner mist, I'm on board.
Right.
So please head over to tease.com, read that piece, get into it, buy, add to cart, let me know how you feel. And if you love it, I definitely want to know. If you don't, then I don't necessarily want to know. There's that. Okay, next up on the tease.com, something that I think is super relevant given what is happening in the world. Hello, heat wave.
Yes.
The article, 5 waterless hair products to help save the planet and your strands. If water conservation isn't already top of mind for you, it definitely should be. According to UNICEF, 700 million people could be displaced by intense water scarcity by 2030. With the world's water resources in crisis and climate change causing more droughts, now more than ever, it is so important to work towards preventing water waste. That's why it might be a good idea to consider adding some waterless hair products to your routine. By using hair products that are water-free or within incredibly small amounts of water, we can help reduce our water footprint while still giving our strands the care that they need. Head to thetease.com to find 5 hair products that will help save your hair and the sea, your strands, all of it. Like, come on. Water conservation for me right now in California, where there are tons of restrictions, is inescapable. So I would definitely be down to try, even though it does sort of run counterintuitive to like what I'm about when I'm trying to like get some shampoo and conditioner off. What about you? Would you dive into this trend? Would you try any?
I would. I think it's interesting. So, like the Susteo Moon Dust hair wash. Interesting to think powder to liquid shampoo. That I've never tried before. So I'm interested in trying that just to see. I do want my lather like you,
I know,
but
I can't.
it's giving good reviews around the cleansing the hair and scalp, adds volume, etc. And then I also the Alder New York texture powder. I mean, anytime I can get more volume or texture, I'm there for it. And some of the reviews there say they go about a week between washes. And this powder is the holy grail. And so also interesting, instantly refreshes. So I'm there for those 2 products. Check out the other ones on the tease.com in the article.
Make it happen. Make it happen. All right, one more piece. And this one I feel like you're definitely going to want to check out if you haven't already on the tease.com. The article is called, and this is real, "It's time to step up your styling, king. Mailroom Barber Company is here to help." So our resident photographer is known at the Tease for his hair. He describes it in the piece as all sorts of hairstyles, long and luxurious, to a grimy white trash mullet. Again, his words. So he wrote a piece for us about his desire for an ethically sourced and manufactured hair product. And he includes some of his faves from Mailroom Barber Company, a brand that he came across in a local denim shop, quote unquote, back in Madison, Wisconsin, as I guess you do. If you're hunting for new hair products, you're probably going to want to check this out. And understand a little bit more about like what our photographer Tom's all about. This story got me thinking though, where do you come across new product? Like sometimes it's in a salon and your stylist is saying like, hey, like I'm retailing this, like you should try blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you're in a denim shop and you see some product, I guess. Yeah, I just wanted to know, like, how do you find products for the guys in your life? Because when you're in a salon, you're there for yourself, not for them. But we know that they've got incredible hair. What does that process look like for you?
Yeah, I think it's for me, I'm a word of mouth kind of gal, not even necessarily reviews, but I do like the word of mouth from those in the industry that we know are doing great things. I can also really appreciate an indie startup brand that is coming to the table with something different. So our wonderful photographer talks a little bit about the products, and one that he also likes is the texture salt spray, and it said it's like the spray of the Pacific Ocean, little natural crunch. So it makes sense to me, it's logical. But I'm here for boutique brands that are discovered in niche areas, because hey, that's how some of the big ones got started. What about you? Where do you find them?
I mean, the thing is, people are pitching us, so it's a lot easier than it used to be. I don't think that I would have scoured a denim store for my hair product. More, it's salons, it's Salon Pro friends that are like, I swear by this thing. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to get that. And then I try it for myself. Yeah, like this piece in particular, I was like, I guess people do stock hair product, and maybe I should pay more attention when I'm looking for other things. Because again, it doesn't, for me, click like denim hair product, but it did for him. He sings its praises for Mailroom Barber Co. So check out that piece, and then maybe let us know where you're buying hair product if it's not in a traditional, setting. If you're not getting it from a salon, or you're not a brand faithful and just ordering online. Yeah. Cool. Well, as always, so much going on with tees.com. Thank you to hardworking editors, including our photographer, who's the guest editor, and myself even. Look at me.
Love that.
We're proud to publish stories that salon pros and consumers care about. And now,
next up,
sorry. Good. That's me. I read your thing.
Next up, my conversation with Ian Murphy, the president of BosleyMD, the seasoned global business beauty executive. We're going to talk about hair thinning and loss and all of the revolutionary things that BosleyMD is up to. All right. So Jeff, legitimately buying the products and the supplements. So for me, I've seen all of the supplements out there. You don't know what's, efficacious. But Ian convinced me I'm going to switch over to BosleyMD. I'm going to take my so-called other ones I've been using and put them to the side and give it a whirl. So a lot of insights on the hair thinning and loss category. And thanks to him for joining the pod today.
Yeah.
Be sure to hit subscribe, rate and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. And read the teas and send in questions to volumeup@thetees.com.
Volume Up is a Tees Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. Brian Daly is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for putting together the graphics for this episode.